Now, Can Am has done a great job on the Spyders in making it easy and comfortable for riders of all types. They have several different types of systems for stability control and to help with steering. And for seasoned riders, you do not have to worry about balancing yourself at stoplights, balancing the bike in curves and turns, and counter steering and leaning. And for those new riders, it's easy to turn because all you have to do for both are simply just turn the handlebars right to go right and turn the handlebars left to go left. When your bike is going to the right, it wants to throw your body to the left, so you have to lean to the direction that you're turning, which would be the right. If your bike's going to the left, your body wants to get thrown to the right, so you need to lean to the left. Let's demonstrate that. I'm turning to the right, so I want to lean to the right. Turning to the left, I want to lean to the left. Now, for throwing you, the bike wants to throw you. I'm turning to the right, it wants to take me to the left. I'm turning to the left, gravity wants to take me to the right, or forces want to take me to the right. I like to do a 90%, 10%, and what I mean by that is my left arm is the non-throttle hand. All it does is paddle shifting, so I don't have to worry about brakes, clutch, or anything like that. It is all by itself, kind of. My right hand is the throttle hand. So whenever I'm turning, I don't like to twist my arm at all, and I don't like to risk doing something with the throttle. So basically 90%, and this might be over exaggeration, but 90% of it, if I go to turn right, I'm going to push with my left arm. If I'm going to the left, I'm going to pull with my left arm. Now, in doing so, I do like to keep this one on throttle, and if you notice here, I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm pulling and pushing with my left hand. My right hand's on there, so since this is there, I'm going to do just a little bit, just to give it something to do and for better control. So that's where the 10% comes in. Now, I've found for me, whenever I go around corners, if I'm got my hand on the throttle, I tend to accelerate, just because naturally my wrist will turn back whenever pulling down. Anytime you pull down, gonna kind of turn back. So I like to be real careful of that. Now, I'm going kind of slow, but I want to show you how easy it is to turn this bike. It's not very hard at all. I've got 2 fingers on the handle. I can do it with 1 finger. It is super easy to drive, really nice, well made, good steering. So I'm over exaggerating in the parking lot. Whenever you're going around corners, you don't want to jerk it all the way down to try and turn. So you're not going to be doing this when you're going, 60, 70 miles an hour. You're going to ease it into the turns. And I also push down. If I'm going real fast, I will make sure that I push down into the pegs with my feet. Now, that's why I don't have floorboards. It's because I like to brace myself against the footrest. So again, when I'm riding, if you notice there, I've got this to push down to. I like pushing and wedging my foot into that footrest. I have control of the brake and everything, and then this is the same way. I get to handle the corners better, and whenever leaning, it gives me something to really press into. Kind of gives me something better control and better comfort for me. But that's my opinion. A lot of you like floorboards, that's good. But when I'm going around the corners fast, I like to be braced very well. Unlike a 2-wheel where you have 1 line to travel in, and what I mean by that is your front tire and your back tire are pretty much in the same line. So whenever you are aiming at obstacles, you know by judging where your front tire is going to go, where your back tire is most likely going to hit. On a 3-wheel motorcycle, you have to worry about your left front tire, right front tire, and your middle, which creates 3 lines to travel with and to be cautious of. So I've read a lot and seen a lot where people talk about where you should hit with your motorcycle whenever driving over obstacles. For me, and again, this is my opinion and preference, I like to hit obstacles with the front tires. Now, I'm not saying that I like to purposely aim for it, but if something's in the road and I'm riding, I'm not going to swerve out of the lane or swerve into anybody to avoid it. I make sure that I hit it with my left or right front tire. The reason for that is anytime that I've ever hit anything with my rear tire and use it for the line, even if it's a small obstacle, it jars you pretty good. If you have a passenger on it, it jars them even more. So let's talk a little bit about the Nanny system, or the stability control of the Can Am Spyder. Now what it's designed for is if you're going too fast around curves, or if something happens to where one of the wheels feel like they're going to lift up on the bike, or it feels like the bike's unstable, what it does is reduces power, also tightens up the steering a little bit, prevents you from taking a curve too sharp or too fast, and sets the bike back down into a safe position. Now, I haven't experienced it, but I hear a lot of people talk about the Spyder wandering all over the road. For me, it does not. And part of the reason is I make sure that my bike's maintained. Not saying that you don't if you're having the problem. I'm just saying that mine is maintained. And then I do make sure that whenever I get an alignment, that it's with a laser alignment. I actually ask them, I question it, you know, how do you do your alignment? How do you balance tires? Ask all those questions. Learn about it. But the laser alignment gets you about the best alignment for the Spyder that you can, and it tracks it true, which means that when you let go of it, it's going to go in a straight line. It's not going to wander all over the place. So there's a couple things that can cause that, the wandering around. One of them might be that your tires, the tire pressure is different in one tire versus the left. So tire pressure might be different in the left tire versus the right. So you have a lower tire, and then your bike will tilt a little bit, and that will cause you to go back and forth and feel like you're swerving a little bit. So underinflation, overinflation, those are things that make a difference. Also, the alignment will make it, just like in a car. If you have a bad alignment, it will not track true. It will not stay in a good line. And if you see here, I'm going 51 miles per hour, hands off. It's doing really good at tracking straight. So we have a couple things: tire pressures, alignment off, and then the last thing is the road. So roads are kind of awkward sometimes. If they're traveled a lot, they'll have grooves in them that really do change and affect the way that the Spyder rides, because you are on three wheels, so you have a left, a right, and a middle to worry about. So there's three things that are going to push and pull this. So let's say that the groove is really bad on the right and there's not one on the left. Your tire on the right is going to try and follow that groove and push it around, even though the left tire really doesn't need to do anything. So that causes the bike to feel like it's pulling like this and swerving and whatnot. So that's the main thing, is judge what type of road you're on. If you got a good road like this one right here, I can let go, perfectly straight line, and all of a sudden you start going off real quick. That could be an alignment issue. Before you take it to get it aligned, make sure that you check your tires for inflation first. Now, anytime you get new tires, it is best to balance and also make sure that you're aligning.